Hi, just a short video vlog about the current ownership experience with the Audi TT. So I got this car at the end of March 22 and it is now middle September 22. So it's roughly about 5 months so far. Haven't done many kilometers in terms of testing out the handling, the performance and all of that. But I got a very good idea of the vehicle's capability in terms of the daily use and the short sprints that I've done in the 2000 something kilometers so far. Unfortunately, this ownership is going to come to an end very soon for the reasons that I will explain a little bit later in the video. But needless to say, this was one of those cars that I really wanted. It's been around since 2017, 2018. It's a 5-year-old car. It's had a recent facelift. It's got everything that I really wanted and I liked. The performance is phenomenal. The handling, the driver focus, interior, everything is just top notch. It's really one of those cars that I will be really sad to let go. But unfortunately, I overestimated the back seats and underestimated the growth of the kit, and it's come to a point where it's becoming a bit of a struggle if our family bus is no longer available. And unfortunately it has happened in the last 3 weeks, and that's when I started to reconsider about the ownership of this particular vehicle. So yeah, I came from a number of vehicles. Actually, I had a few vehicles in the last 4 or 5 years, from anything from Infiniti G37, went back to the RX-8s. I have still a couple of MX-5s, third generation, the NC as they call it. And obviously the last sedan or fastback was the Audi S7, which is a monster, in its own right. The V8 turbo, twin turbo, air suspension, the comfort and the ride quality is just second to none. But yeah, without further ado, I'm gonna flip the camera around so you guys can see exactly what this vehicle is that I'm talking about. Here it is. So this is my TTRS, Kayalami Green. It's got all the bells and whistles, all the carbon fiber bit interior, 20-inch. You know all about this vehicle. There's so many write-ups and videos, YouTube's, TikTok, all of that. It's a very popular vehicle for those who can afford it and who kind of see beyond the so-called hairdresser image. This one obviously in this color, in this body kit, in this guise in general, with the blacked out everything, interior, exterior, there is no way that anyone will mistake this one for a hairdresser's vehicle. Astounding performance, extremely nimble, very agile. It's just a fantastic vehicle. I parked it between half in the sun, half in the shade, so you can really see this Kayalami Green at its best. So yeah, why did I get it in the first place? Exactly because of all the things that I've just mentioned. And look, at the end of the day, this thing costs just around 1.2. It's a lot of money for a little toy. This thing is so small, it makes parking so easy. Just a fantastic vehicle. The ride quality with the magnetic ride, it drives like a normal Golf on a daily basis. If I don't want to, I don't open up the flap, I don't make the suspension stiff, then it rides just like a Golf. And it's also very practical. It's got a very nice boot over there. Let me open it up and we'll have a look. You can carry a lot of the small little things. I mean, it's amazingly big for a car of this size. Sorry about the vacuum cleaner in the background. And you can see the driver orientated cockpit is really fantastic, and these seats are just phenomenal. I'm going to leave the boot open just so that you can see some more lighting in there because it's very dark because of the small space. Just a quick overview. They're sort of like the Alcantara suede. I don't think these are real. I think these are more like a neoprene. That's very, very nice to touch. It's not like the thick rooms like the BMWs. Obviously, you know about the buttons. You can look it up on the other YouTube videos. The seats, blue stitching, very nice. Back seat, well, I'll discuss a little bit more. You can see the booster seats. That's actually one of the reasons why this ownership experience is fantastic. So yeah, I don't need to show you the rest of the car. As I say, you can see it on the YouTube. There's so many channels discussing about this car in different generations and different colors, different spec, whatever. So ultimately, what is going on? So I bought this car thinking that I can use it as a baby, which I have been using around the city here. And it's averaging pretty good fuel consumption, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, this is doing about 11 liters per 100. So you do the conversion for those that are around the world. But it's very, very light on fuel in terms of the performance. And if I do a long trip, say 50 kilometers, 60 kilometers, that can easily go up to, or go down to about 7.8, 7.6 liters per 100. Very, very light for this kind of performance. However, when you're around town, it could be something like a rolling thing. You just get on the press on the pedal every now and then. But you know what, you sacrifice the financial means to gain a little bit of emotional value, if you want to call it that. So ultimately, it's really quite simple. You can't fault this vehicle for what it offers. However, it's what it's not offering that is making this ownership experience a little bit unbearable. So I'm going to demonstrate to you. So as you can see that the back seats are really, really tight, right? I mean, I don't even get a floor mat for the rear passenger. That's how small this is. Even Audi themselves recognize that, and I don't even get a floor mat, right? So this is the driving position. Actually, for passenger to squeeze in here, it's going to be very tight. I mean, you can't be more than 1.7 and your knees will be touching the glove compartment. So normally you're going to have to move it all the way back, at least to this position, I would say, to make it bearable for the front passenger, right? And this is more or less the same as my driving position. So if I were to put the kids at the back, you can see how big the booster seat is. And if I were to move the seat back, this is what you get. Just like that. Just like that. And that is the problem. I thought in the beginning that my kids were a little bit smaller. They were actually in there and they were happy. But after a 3 weeks of without having our caravan or family bus to chauffeur the kids around, they started to complain about the cramped spacing. So ultimately, yes, this is my baby, but I would also like to share this with my friends and family whenever necessary, possible, short trip to here and there. But this car has been standing in the garage most of the time, except for the time when I use it for myself only, such as this morning when I went to town to get a few things. It's just it's a pity. It really is a pity, but I understand. It's all dimensional. It's got to do with the limitation of the dimension. I mean, if the car was a little bit bigger with a longer wheelbase, then it wouldn't have been as agile, nimble, and handled the way it did. So unfortunately, I'm looking for something just a little bit bigger now, just to accommodate the need. It's a pity. I mean, you can hear all the sound that this car makes. It's quality. It really is quality. It's such a fantastic vehicle. It's really something that, you know, if one has got the spare money, you know, you can always come back to without fail. I'm not gonna lie, is this gonna be a modern classic? I think it will. I think it has been. It's retained its value very well. For all the cars that I've seen, they're all in pristine, low mileage condition. So if one really wants to get it, say 2-3 years down the line, you're gonna have to pay dearly for this one. 2.5 liter 5-cylinder rumble. You know, this is what they call the baby R8 for a reason. So ultimately, yeah, it's gonna be a sad day when it comes to let it go. I am looking at a couple of options right now, sort of going back to the sports sedan, high performance sports sedan again, just for the practicality and also for, you know, usability on the daily basis. But I'm gonna miss this one, the green Kayalami Green Hulk, as my kids call them. It's definitely left a soft spot, and yeah, hopefully the next one will be more practical and I can keep it for a little bit longer. Look at that, it's just such a nice color. It's such a shouty, but still very classy. This combination is just so wow. Oh well, it is what it is. So until next time, I think this will be the only video and the last video of this vehicle. You can possibly see some of them in the background in the garage, which I'll probably do a quick video vlog as well, just to, you know, also keeping a record of the cars that I've had. It's a pity that I didn't get to do the others while I still had them. But yeah, when I get a chance, maybe. I'm not exactly a YouTuber. This is really just for my own personal kind of memory. So yeah, if you enjoyed the video, cool. Hopefully there will be more to come. Cheers.